Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, and all of you here in Speed Gaming. Welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Irongol heavy metal match between Dengwoo, not Dark Moon. Dark Moon's my co-commentator.
I'm right here.
Exactly. And Aelmarkin holding the number 1 spot, and Dengwoo holding the number 6 spot. This is a battle for the spot below the champion, Spellzap. I'm joined with Dark Moon EX as my co-commentator. How are you doing this evening, Dark Moon?
I am phenomenal tonight. This is going to be a good one. I'm interested to see it. Dengwoo has been doing really well in these matches lately, has been working his way up. Of course, Aelmarkin's the number 1. He's defended that title a few times, having fought off, challenges from below and tried to take championship title away from Spellzap. He's been holding on to this number 1 seed for a while now, and he is not going to let it go. I think a challenge from Dengwoo is going to be interesting. It's going to be real spicy. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I'm interested to see whether or not Ael's able to hold on to it again.
Yeah, and with the flags that Dengwoo proposed to Ael, this looks to be a little spicy.
A little?
just a little.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead and talk about this?
Sure. A lot of the basic stuff is what you're going to expect to find in these kinds of things. You got your standard layout, no entrance, no floor, nothing too confusing there. Your basic magic shops with their spells are switched up, although key to note, your magic shop locations are also randomized. Item magic is on all the basic enemy stuff that you expect from them without, the extra random formation, so don't expect to see the third eye grind here. What's interesting about this one is 3 of our locations that are going to be hitting: the Marsh Cave, the Earth Cave, and the Marsh Lock are tri-state, so we don't know if they're going to be active locations or not. So we could have as few as 15 locations in the pool, as well as 26 additional items that they're going to have to find. All the usual progression stuff, along with Warple and Thorhammer and White Shirt. It's a very interesting pool. Also have to see what the final boss is going to be, because we're not sure of what that's actually going to turn out because of tri-states. Got your progressions on, but all the very places you can go, Sarda, Sage's Ordeals, those are also tri-states. Enemies and bosses are going to be tri-state on whether or not they're clamped. Experience is coming in for 50% per orb they get, so expect to see some of the fiends fall early before they do any kind of real grind. That black belt may or may not be really interesting to them right now. And then about the only other real thing that's going to be cool for us to find out is just what these weapons and armors are going to turn out, because, Sonny, I think you're a fan of this, and so am I. Everything is going to be cursed and blessed and all out the wazoo.
Yeah, so there is a question as what to tri-state, or what is tri-state. So in Final Fantasy I Randomizer, you can actually select things to be on, but with tri-state, you don't know whether or not it's going to be on or it's going to be off. So with tri-state Marsh Cave being an incentive location, we don't know if it's going to be incentivized or if it's not going to be incentivized. So it's something like that. You have no idea until you actually go to that location.
You can't just plan for it. You have to keep an open mind and be ready to change your strategy on the fly depending upon what the seed gives you.
Yes, and it definitely is a mystery as to whether or not that will be an incentive location or if it's just going to be a dud. But I do believe we have our runner starting here in just a few moments.
So to quote the commissioner when he did this the last time, I think you and I were in the race with him. Good old Gouda right there. Let's get ready to rando!
Absolutely, and these runners are off. Starting with the basic Canaria check. White Magic has Expert at level 1.
Life was slot 4. They can get it. Oh wait, they can't get it at all because they don't. Why even? I guess for the fighter eventually, when they get the tail, they can go back, and I think slot 4 is available, so he'll be able to do that. Pro Ring -4. Ouch.
Yeah, Pro Ring -4, not what you want to see. So, with the Blurst weapons and armor, you can either see Blessed weapons or Cursed weapons and armor. And that minus value or plus value that you see on them either increases the absorb or reduces the absorb.
Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of weapon and armor checks that you probably wouldn't see before as they go for various shops and so forth. looking for things that might actually be useful to them, because I think the bonus on armor is what, like, 1 point to defend and 2 points to evade or something, so you get like a +3 or +4. That's a lot. That's some huge numbers to have, especially on like cloth or wooden armor. Can make some of these early ones actually kind of viable into the mid game. Unfortunately, the two weapons they saw, I think the saber and the rapier -5, those are absolute garbage.
Yeah, the rapier -5 is something you didn't want to see. But Elmarkin, up in the top left of Temple of Fiends, finds the bridge. So that's going to allow progress over to Provoca, where Bicky can be talked to and fought.
It does. However, it does not count as one of the 26 key items that they're trying to figure out whether, how many of them they're looking for. That's actually the uncounted 27. So enjoy.
So
still totally useful. They needed that. So we're getting
absolutely.
our first Garland check. I mean, with what they have available to them, 77. I'm guessing Garland counts as a boss, so I would have to guess the bosses are not clamped.
Yeah, I would have to guess that as well, considering that was a very low roll and Garland just fell over.
He was a tissue paper lantern, and he was like, oh, I'm already gone. Bye. It's like Flash Feet.
Helium balloon being released into the sky.
Exactly. Spark a light and he's gone.
So, we saw from the King and Sarah the ship and the canal.
So, whole bottom half of the world is now essentially open to them, barring, like, the other side of Titan's tunnel.
That it is, and with how the open progression works that has been turned on, there will be a dock outside of Onrak, a dock outside of Mirage Tower, but no dock outside of the Ryukon Desert to unearth the airship. So
that was a lovely...
will be needed.
It will. That was a lovely white shop to find there for the fighter when they eventually get to him. Heal 3 and Invis 2, two really nice spells to have for when you're actually heading into Topher. May not buy both, you may prioritize the Invis 2, but the Heal 3 is still nice to have if you have a knight and you feel like using it in the mid-game. And I also think, what was it, Warp and Cake and maybe Ice 3 there?
Yeah, Warp, Cake, and Ice 3.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Dang is doing the spicy early Matoya play, finds a tent and some negative wooden armor. Not so much.
And Elmarkin taking down the pirates to find the crown.
It's good. That's yet another check they can do while they're here on the Circle C. Very useful to have. See what's going to see over here in the armor shop. Chain +5. That's a winner right there. Cheap, effective, really nice bonus. I'd buy that for every character that wear it.
Absolutely. And the gold bracelet being 52,000 is pretty expensive. So, there's a slight question about the canal itself. So, the canal isn't entirely an item, but it's what's created in the vanilla game whenever you use the TNT with Narek the dwarf in the dwarf cave. In the randomizer, we actually are able to turn that into an item that can be found in the world. It's similar to the bridge that you would normally get after defeating Garland from the King of Canaria.
So still getting our upgrades. Aelmarkin also doing that Matoya check on the way back. Gonna find that pile of garbage that she had sitting there as he goes through her recycling bins. And then I'm assuming he's probably gonna, if it was me, go do the crown turn-in next before you venture outside. Don't need to go to Marsh, because, I mean, it may be incentivized, but I'd probably take the risk on not dealing with it right now, because ew, Marsh, gross.
I mean, that's 6-1 half and 6-1 half the other, because with it being tri-state and already having a very good sweeper, going into Marsh isn't entirely.
I mean, there are another, like, possibly extra 10 items in the incentive pool, and yes, the item dropper likes to put them early in the game when there's a bunch of loose. I still would be like, I really hate Marsh. Maybe I'll just come back here after I've explored some other stuff and gotten some more key items under my belt.
Yeah, Cat Claw for 23,000 gold and Elfland. They did not start with the tail this time around. But we see Fast at level 8. Oh. Elfland Black Magic level 3 shop is level 8 magic, but level 3 White Magic is the level 4 shop, and that's Life 2. That is a shame to see.
Yep, they're never getting that. Never at all.
And
White
never
Magic level
getting
5 has Fade. No. And level 6 has, oh, Lips Beyond Them. How sad. This is... Provoca was a tease right there, because we saw spells they could actually get at Provoca, and then, like, here, all the magic shops are mixed up.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Magic Shop Shuffle flag.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dengwoo just leaving Provoca, Ale doing a bit of shopping here in Elfland. Question is, what are their next plays going to be? Is Deng going to go ahead and leave the Inner Sea, or is he going to stick around and go check Marsh? Looks like he's leaving the Inner Sea.
Yeah, he's making the early play just to see what other spells are available. Well, I mean, we know that there's still some magic shops he might want to check that are floating out around there. He may just want to see what other key items are there, if he can get any other, like, good treasure or progression before he really starts focusing. Meanwhile, Ale's doing the play that I was hoping someone would do and go turn in that crown, gets himself the canoe, opening up even more locations, and there's that tail to turn into Bahamut, and they are good to go.
They may have had free tail, and I just completely missed it.
I'm checking it right now.
I've done that before. Yeah, they do have free tail, and I completely missed it.
Yep. So yeah, I mean that having a Bahamut right there and easy to get to, super nice. They don't even need the airship for that. And since Ale Markin has the canoe, he's just going to wander on up to Dwarves and finish out the circuit. I mean, why not?
Absolutely. And, level 7 nuke. Ooh.
You hate to see that. I mean, that's one of those... It's a good enough spell to come back for, but you hate seeing it so late.
Absolutely. I mean, there may not even be enough charges for nuke to be viable.
I mean, you got a fighter, you got a ninja, you've got apparently unclamped bosses. I don't think there's really any reason to worry about getting up into level 7s for magic. Your first 4 spell levels are going to be good enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have to find level 2 magic first, though, and there is a potential it could be in either Gaia or Lefane. And that means that the floater would be really, really nice to have.
It would. I mean, floater long run they're probably going to want no matter what. It's just, whether or not they're going to worry about the charges. Level 8 fast. Oh, guy. Oh.
Now,
that was a fire.
There is a good point made in chat with the potential weapon with nuke. That is a possibility, but you also have to think about the chances of it.
We did just see the defense sword with Fire 3 on it as its spell, which, I mean, it's the least powerful of the 3 of the elemental ones. You want Lit 3 or Ice 3 usually normally when you see all 3 of them in the shop, but to be able to throw that Fire 3 on a knight and just let him go to town casting magic, why not?
Shoutouts to that Ice Shield -4.
Is it actually literally made of ice at that point?
I think it's made of water.
This thing is melting in my hand. How is this working?
How am I holding water?
Is that Zen somehow? You don't hold the water holds you?
Yeah. Actually, I think that's how it works. So, I mean, that Ice Shield -4, though, isn't that bad, since it will provide fire resistance, so seeing Blaze, Scorch, Heat, Cremate...
Yeah.
Not so much a worry now.
Yep. That's nice, and walking that out in the Fire 3 makes sense. The items were just good enough to keep them, and since you're in Marsh right now with a lot of enemies that are weak to fire, not just the undead, but some of the other packs that are in here, that's probably one of the best, magical items they could have gotten for the area they're in.
I have to agree, considering that there are a few undead packs and a lot of different packs that will take a good amount of damage from fire. It's super nice.
Yeah. There are really worse items they could have gotten right there. The ever famous blind shirt, for example. Oh, this is really useless. Thanks, guys.
You know what's more useless than a blind shirt, though?
Yes.
A lamp shirt.
I always love the A-moot items. Like, I can't even use this to cure the mute you gave me. Come on, guys!
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Oh!
That was
Well,
painful
that was
to see.
somber.
Hi, Blizzard. Marsh actually is incentivized. That's the TNT from the incentive chest in Marsh. And hello, Blizzard again. How are
Is
you
it the
doing?
crawls or the bones that are casting that? I think I've missed it twice now.
It's the bones.
Oof! So Ale was super lucky the last time when he saw them.
Yes, he was. And, you know,
Yep.
I could actually call these bones icy bones.
So far, Ale has been real lucky.
He has been.
Yeah. And you really don't want to see it, because I believe those bones are going to show up again later. Aren't they part of one of the packs over in the Ice Cave, too? Am I just thinking the
red
R-bones? Okay, well, that's less bad.
So there's a question in chat. Is the -4 just 4 worse? Yeah, pretty much.
I believe on defensive items, it's... Okay, I don't know on the shields. You'll have to correct me on this. I know with the armors, it's -4 on the defense and -8, 2 points each for the evade. I don't know how it works on the actual, like, holdable items, though. I think it's slightly different math.
4 and 4, I believe.
So yeah, it's 4 and 4, but yeah. So it's not only water, it's like leaded water. It's heavy water.
Yeah, very much so. All right, Ale.
Oh, and the werewolves have ice too as well. Everything is cold here.
This marsh is just frozen. This is freezing to the bone.
Ice Cave is a different dungeon game. Ale, what are you doing? Ale, stop teasing us. Ale, come on.
Oh, I think I know what Ale's doing.
Is he trying to kill his thief? Well, he's about to find that ice too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's what he meant to do.
Oh, there's Blizzard from the werewolves! Oh, no!
You know, I have never seen karma so instant before.
Wow!
Okay, gotta make sure we take a note to ask Ale about that. So, about that little victory lap you did there at Marsh. Feeling that one, aren't you now?
Oh, gosh. He just got chilled to the bone.
I mean, he knows there's really nothing down here worthwhile aside from that TNT, but still, that was like using up every point of luck you had, and then be like, why not take one more half stab? Sure.
I need you to roll a luck save. Oh, wait, you can't. You mean Elsa's fun cave? Yes! Yes! Oh, that is glorious.
So, they're both suffering here in Marsh Cave now, and the funny thing is that Ale could have been done here, but no!
He decided to tempt fate, and fate said, nope! Done, son!
Hold my beer!
Oh!
God! Oh, no,
and
Dang!
Dang is gonna nope out of that.
I mean, he's got other places to go, and I can't necessarily blame him. With Canoe and Canal and Ship available, he's got a bunch of other places to go. He can go find levels elsewhere and come back here when Ice 2 and Blizzard are going to be chip damaged at that point. But you still hate to see it, because if that TNT leads to something good, like Floater, for example, that's a lot of time he's going to bleed off there.
Oh, very much so. And we may see Ale Markin getting out of here unscathed. Or should I say...
unscathed with an asterisk?
Warm body.
I mean, he got the thief dead, which is, I think, what he was trying for the first time. Thief was just like, here. No, you all get to go with me this time.
Okay, Ale actually saved after leaving Marsh.
Smart. Yeah.
Ale is safe for now.
And now we get to see what that TNT becomes.
So there is one thing to keep in mind with seeing those beautiful, beautiful werewolves, and that's we're not done seeing them because they will show back up in Earth Cave.
Yeah, and they had a lot of cold on them.
So the Iron Golem Championship is just using a bunch of fun flag sets that we come up with as we challenge people. So this is just a complete and total wacky flag set, and really the whole goal of the Iron Golem Championship was for us to have fun racing really wacky flag sets with each other.
Whatever you guys decide you want to do, that's what you decide to do, and you put the race together. So yeah, we've seen some fairly traditional ones. I think we saw an improved vanilla one recently that happened between a couple players. Like a couple weekends ago, Burt Reynolds and Ragnarok did an 8-hour Chaos Rush challenge of just seed after seed after seed. Whatever you feel like running, you can make it an Iron Golem and play it against another player. It's pretty fun. It's a great time.
All right, Ding's going to go ahead and dip on into Earth Cave and immediately run to Giant's Pass, where Cobra Kai and Gargoyles
not much
reside.
Useful here. Yeah, no. There's better grinds than this. I'd skip this. Oh, okay.
That's a good grind.
He's got
Especially
Lit 3.
considering that Lit 3 is in the tank on the Black Wizard.
Yep. Yeah, you throw out the Lit 3, you just follow with the Fire 3 and see if the chip damage can take down anything that's still left standing, and you move on. Good times.
If they'll die.
If they'll die. Couple low rolls didn't help with it. That's what the Fire 3 thing is for. Although these Sea Trolls seem to have rolled fairly beefy. Meanwhile, as Chad is reminding us, because we got distracted talking about the passive giants, Ale did turn into TNT, that became the Crystal, and now he's heading over to Maddie's secret palace here to see what she has hiding in her treasury.
And
it's
that is
Ruby.
the Ruby.
Whew! That opens up.
Now the question is going to be, is Sarda actually accessible early? And we also don't know if Crescent Lake is actually going to be accessible for the key item.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Sarda, we get to go wander over to Sarda, hit the 4 Titans treasure chests if we want them, which right now, with their gear where it's at, I would check for it. And then see whether or not Sarda's going to make us dance for our dinner.
Yeah, that's going to be the question. Ale going ahead and picking up some of the Pro Ring -4s. Actually, 1 to be realistic.
It is death protection. Whether or not it provides any armor whatsoever, it is still death protection.
Yeah, and that death protection matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those lobsters are evasive.
I was about to ask if we were still on the same pack, but no, there weren't Cobras in the previous one, so he has already done at least one fight of this before.
Yes, he got through the first one with the Lit 3s, and this one, Deng started with Bane, and
I think he's low on charges at this point as part of it.
Yup.
Keeps hoping they'll die, and they don't want to. No.
Deng is at a point that he has to rely on crits to actually get through everything. Oh. There goes Danny, the Black Wizard, and that's a reset.
Yeah, he really wants the charges on his Black Wizard to get things through. I can't blame him for that. I mean, I might still have tried to finish it out and walk it out just to keep the levels I got. You know, because Fighter and Ninja, they're going to want those levels. Even Black Belt if you feel like trying to make them viable. But I can understand his reset there because he still had to walk it out afterwards.
Absolutely. We've got a little bit of a divergence coming here from Ale Markin. I do believe...
Yeah, he's sailing off the way.
I do believe that he's heading towards Ordeals.
Well, it is one of the few places he knows is incentivized.
And it doesn't matter whether or not you have early access to Ordeals, because the crown is in tow.
Yeah, Bert asking whether or not the trash might be clamped, and seeing how tough some of these enemies are, I would not be surprised if some of the trash was clamped. Trash mobs may, in fact, be beefy. That's an Ice Sword -3, which he's trying to do the math and decide, is that better than the hand axe or not? I think it is, but maybe by degrees.
It's slightly better.
Yeah.
And when I say slightly, I mean it's a decent margin better.
The part that's going to be better is if you fight any enemies that are fire-based, then the Ice Sword is still going to do bonus damage against it because our weapon fixes are on.
Absolutely.
That's something you got to think about when you're equipping your guys is, I know I've been in areas like wandering into Ice Cave and I find an Ice Sword, but I also have a Fire Sword on me. Sometimes even though the Ice Sword is stronger, I'll leave the Fire Sword on because there's all that undead in there and like frost dragons and frost giants. The Fire Sword in that one context does better damage. You want to keep an eye on your elements when you're playing.
So Ale
Is looping.
is
Different pillar. Different pillar,
heavily looping there.
You spin me right round, baby. Right round. That's as far as I'm going to go because I don't want to pay for copyright stuff.
There you go. Now that was a good pack that Ale got with the Medusas. That's a lot of EXP coming his way. And he has made it out of the maze of ordeals and run into yet another Medusa pack that has stun touch.
Yeah, the nice thing. What?
Lamp axe right next to the cube.
I mean, it's not actually a bad weapon, especially with the +1 on it. You're not going to use the lamp very often, but it is nice to have that weapon.
I was hoping that would be a lamp shirt, not a lamp axe, but you know what? That means there are 2 of them in the seed.
Nice! And Dang walking out, looks like. Seems like he was done with his little dive right there, got some better equipment. Wonder where he's going to head from here. Meanwhile, he also found, if I'm not mistaken, the cube loose in that same box.
Yes, that was right next to the lamp axe, and that's a very good find. And now the only thing that's needed for Mirage and Sky is that glorious chime, and then we can all do the Sky chant. That is a ribbon 4 on Ale Markin's side of the screen.
That is
and
nice.
And a pure gauntlet.
Pure -3, that's... I mean, you might keep it in case you get poisoned in, like, a boss fight, but, Oxyale also here, so that means that water is now, the Sea Palace is now open to them. 2 of the 4 dungeons that they need to complete are completely open to them at this point.
Pardon the face palm, but you know, you talk about the chime, and the chime appears.
Yep, there it is.
Crescent Lake Item Shop.
So, for all of you that like to chant it, feel like chanting it in chat, feel free to say it right now. Everyone can ask for Sky Sky, Sky Sky Sky.
And there's level 2 Black Magic. Coming in strong with Ice 2, Lit 2, Hold Stun in Crescent Lake. Pretty good spell set. A little on the weaker end, but...
It is. I'd take the 2 elementals, I think, just because I have the charges and I need to use the spells for something. They're good to have around as backup if you find, like, a Agama pack or Sahags or something. Sahags is what I meant to say. Then, you know, yeah. But, I mean, it's nice to get out of the way. The level 8 with Cure 4, though, that's a little sucky.
Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, Dang has to go kill Lich in order to get the item from the sages.
Yep.
Because there was one text box that told me that specifically.
Yep.
And that text box is the Fiend of Earth continues to rot our land.
Okay, we got Lock 2, Quad X, and Temper over here at the level 4 shop, sitting here at On-Rack. Those are all very nice spells. I love seeing Lock 2 at an early time where I can cast it, because it's really useful anytime you run up against bosses that have any kind of high evade. Although, I mean, admittedly, we're not looking at clamped bosses right now, but still, good spell to have.
Very, very nice spell to have, and you never know when you're really going to need it, because you never know if a boss is going to roll high evade or not.
Absolutely. Even unclamped, they can still hit that 200% and then just be hard to hit.
Absolutely. And we have Ale Markin going into the waterfall cave.
For those of you that have gotten used to our procedurally generated waterfall, which looks different every time, do not adjust your dial. This is the vanilla waterfall.
So you may have been used to seeing that procedurally generated, and now you're seeing vanilla, and you're just like, what in the world is going on? I don't know what's going on. Why is this normal?
What's the path through here again? I've seen more than one runner be like, I don't understand where the exit is, not realizing that they're in vanilla waterfall.
Yep. I may or may not have done that a couple times myself.
It gets us all one time or another. You get used to one way and then suddenly the other.
But now we've got Dengwoo sailing the high seas while Ale is just running through this waterfall cave, enjoying the time.
Yeah.
Throwing out that Fire 3 sword, doing some damage. You know, the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Getting 2 of those birds.
2 birds with 1 Fire 3?
I think he was trying for 7 with 1 stroke, but he only got 2 of them.
He was shooting for that hole in one. Hey, there's a loose slab in the waterfall.
Loose one? That's 2 key items lurking here, more than likely, depending upon what the robot has. I don't believe we actually went to Elf Castle to see whether or not Dr. Oon is hanging out there.
No, they did not, because you may have noticed that Bahamut was hanging out in Dr. Oon's spot.
Well, those Mudgalls did not want to let you run away, and they packed quite the punch. Welcome to Clamped Enemies, everyone.
Good old clamps. Is Deng going to be the hero we all deserve? Is he following the chant of Sky, Sky, Sky?
He is indeed the hero we deserve. Dengwoo is heading his way into Mirage Cave.
Oh, baby.
Yes.
So, we know that bad men are going to be really bad, especially with what we've seen from the enemies. We know that nightmares are going to be really bad.
Mm-hmm. Scimitar 2. I love the naming sometimes. Scimitar 2. Trying for these guards. Yep. He's got the... He does have Lit 3. These guards, which are weak to it, may go down to that. They don't seem to be punching too hard.
They are going to die to it.
There's some nice experience right there. And the adamant from the robot over on Ale Markin's side. So that is 2 key items in there, assuming he can get back out with them.
I'm going to have to avoid those mud golems, and that's about it. So that adamant also signifies that, you know, might be a good idea to head over to Dwarf Cave.
Holy
slicing
crap.
a bat in twain.
Wow, the saber-tooth had like glance and glare and something else, and the Catmen also had like their own pack spells, and the 2 of them together just wiped the floor with Dengwoo.
Sounds like an absolute decimation.
Mm-hmm. The decimation of the Deng Nation.
There we go.
You set that one up for me. I was gonna take it.
Hey, I can't blame you. I like it. Oh, Deng having Danny show the gloves. Time to play some fisticuffs with these guards.
They didn't seem interested though.
Nope.
Just waving them like he's cheering for them on the field.
And Deng's gonna go ahead and run out of Mirage.
Can't blame him.
Where Ale Markin encountering the mud golems, is he gonna be able to get out of this? He is!
Nice!
And he is out of the waterfall cave. Gonna be able to turn in that adamant, gonna be able to turn in that TNT, saying, nope, I'm not going back into Onrak, going into Sea Shrine. Nah, I got stuff to turn in.
It looks as though Dengwoo has figured out that these entirely killable guards here, going down to an easy lit 3 cast, are available as the second encounter on the encounter table here at the lowest floor Mirage, and he's just going to grind out a few levels here and get what he needs before trying to dive in a little deeper. I mean, with the glance and the squint and the glare, just a little extra magic defense can make those skills, like, a lot more manageable.
Very much so. That's going to mitigate a lot of those going off. And with those pro rings for sale as well, it may not be a bad idea to pick those up.
No, because this is not only good experience, but this is good money too. This will give him a lot of what he needs to be able to buy the gear for the mid to late game.
All right.
Animate Turn-In becomes the herb, and now we get to find out if the nurse is sitting over there at Earth Elf Castle or not. I mean, one way or another, this is going to kind of work out for Ale. He can either do his slab turn-in or his herb turn-in.
This is very true, because that could mean that the Elven Doctor is over in Bahamut's cave, which, you know, that's going to be pretty nasty.
It would basically mean you got to have the floater to do 2 different turn-ins. And he is! So yeah, floater required for both the final part of the slab and the herb.
Now that question turns into, where's the floater? Where is it floating at?
I feel like we can turn this somehow into a Doctors Without Borders joke, just with like the nurse being on a faraway island.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, it's there. So Ale's making his way down. He's heading over so he can do his potential Sarda turn-in and see whether or not Sarda is like the sages and won't give up his item.
But first, a Gerwolf pack.
Grr.
Good Gerwolf pack.
Them some good
Absolutely. Hey, that's a blind one gauntlet. And
there's
the rod.
So we now know that checking this floor of sky is required if you want to finish out the seed.
That's
and everyone
spicy.
that likes to chant "Sky, Sky, Sky," there's why you chant it. Opal -3, you hate to see it.
Oh, Dang was in a bit of a pickle with that pack because that was a 5 Catman pack. They had gaze, they have stun. Whew.
They are not pretty.
They are there to eat some lunch. And the blue dragon has stun touch.
Not only does he pack a wallop, he refuses to let you like do anything. Ale going down to check out these 4 chests here in the Titan's Trove, having given him a tasty ruby, and now is free to ransack his belongings. Real Super Pleb asking, have they checked Ice Cave? They have not. That said, Ice Cave is not incentivized, so, I mean, chest density might indicate they need to go there eventually, but right now it's not high on their list of priorities.
Now, Dang holding the rod means that he could actually head back to Earth Cave and just clear out that entire area and be good to go. Because then that would actually open up the Circle of Sages, or the Confused Sages in this case.
JLo in chat pointing out that at this point now, they don't actually need the floater, since they actually have access to all 4 of the feeds. The only reason they might need the floater is if either of those 2 items they have right now to turn in, or potentially something else locked away, would be a loot and key. They will need both of those because Short Topher is on, so they will not need the key. But it is not Chaos Rush, so the loot's not required either, is it?
I'm actually double checking real quick. No, loot is not required for Short Topher.
Yep.
Neither loot nor key
are
required.
So while we're all sitting here going, we think that Ale's kind of in the lead here. The only thing Dengwoo is missing from Go mode at this point would be that Oxy Ale. Wow, that's a twist.
Yeah. So with the loot and key actually being out in the world somewhere, because they do not have loot or key. Those two key items really are meaningless at this point.
Well,
Even if
loot's removed from
one
the
leads
pool.
to floater.
Loot is removed from the pool at this point because you won't need it. Since it's short Topher and there's no slab, loot is just removed, as far as I know at this point, now that we're talking about it. Key is out there, but the only reason why you need key is to open key lock chests. They don't need to do that at this point, so yeah.
No, that is pretty much go mode. All Dengwoo needs to do is go grab that Oxy Ale.
Yep. Yeah, Ale has to go buy the chime and then hit Sky Cave, and he'll be in his version of Go. Meanwhile, Dengwoo needs to go get that Oxy Ale, which he's about to do, and then he'll be in Go. I mean, we're already in No mode. In about 2 or 3 minutes, Dengwoo could be, like, sub 40 Go.
Yeah, and then it'd just be grind and finish out the game.
Grind and go, yep. Now, I mean, that said, I don't necessarily like his item build-out at all right now.
Oh, I have to agree with that. It's a little unfortunate with how it's looking right now.
Indeed. Yeah, so the question is going to be, when each of these guys reaches Go, how many of the chests are they going to check afterwards? Are they going to full clear? Are they going to realize they're in Go mode? Are they just going to do, like, greed chests? What is each of them going to do? I mean, simple fact of the matter is, being at Go this early and knowing where some decent packs are already for the shuffled encounter tiles, that, despite what we were saying earlier, that kind of encourages killing a couple fiends since they're not clamped, and then grinding your black belt up and saying screw it to gear.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. And Elmarkin, unfortunately, hitting that realization that he has to kill Lich in order to get the item from the sages. But checking the shop, seeing that chime, and not having the money to buy it just yet.
He didn't do the grind tiles that Dengwoo did, so I don't think he had the money available. Now, if he goes and hits the treasury and comes back, he could very quickly put himself into Go mode. It's just he may end up full clearing Volcano before he realizes that he's in Go. He could be in Go mode very easily.
Oh yeah, Ale already does have the chime. I missed that
Perfect.
At some point.
Thank you, chat, for reminding us.
Yes,
so that's
thank
one less
you so
thing.
Much, chat. Shoutouts to you guys.
Ale is interestingly doing the unincentivized Ice Cave play.
I mean, I can get down with that play. I like that play. Ice Cave, probably one of my more favorite dungeons.
I can see why he's doing this. He doesn't have the cube. So while he has the chime, he doesn't have Sky Cave completely open to him yet, because he hasn't gone over to Earth for the top shelf Earth dive.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I had to double check and remind myself where the cube was at. So Dang is now in technical Go mode. It is just a matter of how much of the scene he wants to explore from this point forward.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to what Dang really decides to do, but that is 39 minutes 36 seconds for Go mode. One of the fastest Go modes I have seen in quite some time.
It's a airshipless Go mode for the entire thing, and these really weird flags where, like, you didn't even really have to check anything. There were 3 or 4 quick checks you could do early, and then suddenly you got the key items that you needed. It's so weird.
There's a Mazmune. +4.
Woo.
That's gonna be a strong Mazza.
Yeah, that is. I see you sitting over there, Vorpal. I'm going to ignore you, kind of Mazza.
I mean, unless Vorpal's +5. That Mazmune is gonna hit like a truck.
So I want to highlight something that Thunderclaw is saying in chat. Ale is unlikely to go to Earth Cave because he doesn't have the rod. Ale is unlikely to go to Sky Cave because he doesn't have the cube. Of course, the rod is sitting over in Sky Cave, and the cube is sitting over in Earth. So logical routing would dictate he'd do one thing, but the seed really wants him to do the exact illogical thing.
Absolutely. And Deng entering Elfland Castle doesn't have the slab, doesn't really need it.
He took a look at his key items. I think he's trying to figure out if he's in go mode or not. We know he is. He just has to decide that he is.
He may also be wanting to grab another ribbon, and if that's the case, I really can't blame him. I'm pretty sure he knows he's in go mode, but grabbing an extra ribbon, having that safety, it goes a long way. And, ooh, Ale Markin finding a Sun Sword +4. That Sun Sword +4 is quite nice to see.
That's a really nice mid-game sword. Heck, I mean, if you don't find anything else, you'd go with the end-game sword. Like, it could take you through the endgame just because of its increased critical hit and damage rate. Now, admittedly, he has a Maz of 4, so less worrisome right there. But, still nice.
Yeah, but if he goes back to Melmond and actually sees Bahamut at Unspot and promotes, then that ninja's going to be able to wield that Sun Sword.
Eventually. The question is, when does he promote at this point, and what's he thinking of for his build? He's not the one that's in go mode, so he might be more worried about, like, making all the chests and doing the equipment check and everything. That black belt, who's alive right now and reaping so much gear, is not his primary instinct. But he may decide that it is. He may decide that black belt, because he's writing 2 characters right now, that black belt is actually worth dealing with.
Yeah, he is 2-manning this right now, and it's doing some work. A Mute 5 helmet. We've seen a lamp axe and we've seen an A Mute helm. 2 items that you and I were talking about earlier.
Yup. Couple things I want to highlight. One, if you're looking at Dengwoo's items as he's healing on his way out, you might notice that all of his potions are at the top. That is one of our newest experimental features right there that rearranges the item menu and makes things that you commonly use float to the top. Some of us like it, some of us hate it because it changes the way that we're used to item menuing, but they have that turned on here for this particular one. Other thing I'm noticing is over on Ale Markin's side, his black belt, despite not being in the 20s just yet, as far as I can tell, is just going bare-fisted. It's the Black Mage, of all people, that's swinging that Masamune.
No.
Oh, nope, it's switched back around now.
Black Belt's got the Maza, and the Black Mage has been using that Fire 3 sword.
Yeah, I think after I noticed it initially, he then switched it while I was talking about Dengwoo, and, you know, it's that thing, the player always does what you don't expect them to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely a thing.
Always have to prove the commentator wrong.
It happens.
Iron Chuck -5, there's a deal.
That's legit. I'd totally use one of those. There's the key!
Ooh, the incentivized chest in the unincentivized dungeon. That is spicy.
Absolutely. Definitely not something you see.
It is unfortunate, because more than likely it's going to send Ale down a stream of checking chests he doesn't need to check. But
it could also lead him into Marsh Locked, because Marsh Locked is tri-state on the incentive list.
A lot of checks he probably doesn't need to do.
And you just hate to see it.
So for those that are wondering about the Irongol, right now Ale Market is our #1 seed. He, by right, normally has the right to challenge the champion, Spellzap. After this match is up, he will be reset and ready to go, and if he still maintains his #1 position, he can challenge Spellzap. The thing to note is that Dengwoo, our #6 seed, if he beats Ale Markin tonight in this match, which right now being in go mode, he has a chance to do, he would take the #1 spot, and Ale Markin, I believe, would drop all the way to #4, if my math is right. So there's a lot riding on the line here for Ale. He wants a chance to challenge Spellzap again, but One loss here gives Dengwoo the right to go after our Zap Man himself instead.
Alright, Dengwoo has entered Earth Cave. The only thing to really watch out for at this point are those werewolves with Blizzard. Hey, speaking of...
So, commentator curse indeed. It's like you summoned them. Oh, there goes that black belt.
That was my goal.
Yeah, and the ninja, and the black mage, and the whole.
And nope. There goes the run.
Nope.
That's a reset.
Nope. So at 46 minutes and 19 seconds, Dengwoo makes his second official dive into Earth Cave.
Oh hey, Thunder Ogres!
Oh my god!
Huh.
So Volcano.
Yeah, exactly. Well, looks like Earth is gonna be really scary.
Yeah.
You got Ice 2 Blizzard werewolves, you got Thunder Ogres, and both of those you can encounter on Basement 4 of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You can also encounter those on Basement 3 of Earth. So...
Yeah. Yeah, the werewolves are nasty enough, but to have that followed up by Thogers, that is just, oof. No.
Yeah, that's a hard pass.
And hey, look, more of them. Blizzard.
That was cold, but he makes it out!
5 health left on that black mage.
Danny holding on as best as she can. A Drago 2 sword.
You know, I really felt that after Drago 1, they really didn't need to revisit it in the sequel. It was just derivative at that point.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's the same story again, they just moved the characters around. I was just not impressed.
I thought they just dropped one and added the number 2. Alright, Dengwoo about to enter Earth Basement 3. Now, this could be really nasty.
Could also be incentivized.
We see oozes, we see arachnids.
I mean, at this point, despite like this pack not ambushing and not wanting to let him go, I'm still breathing a sigh of relief. It's not ogres or werewolves.
Another Mosmune 4.
Whoo!
Where do they have their treasure wealth set to?
Wasn't it high?
I see it set to low, actually.
Huh. You know, I need to talk to the devs at some point about this, because I have found more often than not, when I crank it down to low, I end up getting a lot more elite gear than I would normally. I think it's just the randomization. It has to randomize something, and so you might not get as much gold, and maybe there might not be as many good items that are randomized into the pool, but you get 1 or 2 of them that's just like, yeah, like as Shifty Cat says in chat, a weird kind of treasure underflow.
Yeah, because Melmond is the lowest tier you can have.
Yeah.
You have your random wealth set to normal, it's gonna be normal. But like Thunder has said, you have less elite gear slots with low.
Mm-hmm.
And there actually is a chance to have multiple Mosmunes roll in those elite gear slots. But the chances of that are very, very low.
Mm-hmm. So, at 49 minutes and 35 seconds, Dengwoo got rebuffed and had to enter Earth Cave again, because not only is there the werewolves and the ogres, but oh yeah, the undead pack down here also has, like, lightning too. And they're ambushy and cast it constantly.
What hath we wrought? Shoutouts to that Lamp One Axe. But seriously, what sorcery is this?
I know, right? It's brilliant.
I mean, at least it's not Thunder Tigers or Blazing Ogres, but no, we got Thunder Ogres.
Almost as bad.
I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I give it a 7 out of 10.
And if you're wondering who to blame for this seed, it's actually everyone's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Blizzard Wolves. Ice 2. Where's the next Blizzard? Come on.
You know, this is his fourth dip in here. I have a rule of 3. If I get rebuffed 3 times, I'm out, and I go find something else to do. I feel like at this point, I would have gone and moved on to Volcano by now.
Yeah, but I think Ding's going after that Mosmian again.
I mean, yeah, but there's a sunk time cost here. It's like, I know the Mazza is there. I might just come back and get it another time later, because this is taking way too much effort, and you're not making progress, especially when you're in go mode.
Yeah, that's very true. He does have 2 charges of warp, though, so if he does go and get that Mosmian, he's right on out with that.
Most of the way.
I mean, it's just going to be -1.
Yeah, but that -1 still has werewolves and ogres on it. Oh, well. I see Dengwoo take a pause every time he hits a bat before realizing he can kill it. I do the same thing. Oh, right! Guillotine is on!
I was about to say, wait for it. The light bulb's going to come on in a moment.
Yep.
I do like one of the things said in chat recently.
Oh,
Need
no!
a seed with Tyros with Thunder, so then we can call them Terrible Thunder Lizards.
Yes. So the guys have Scorch. And Cremate. There's Spectre on the Cremates.
Cremate.
And Slow. So you don't get to do any damage to them once they've cast that.
What is this?
That is perhaps one of the worst packs I've ever seen. Brocate -2, Ribbon +4, sitting there with the room ale marking just checked.
So, there's a question in chat. Guillotine? Yes, NPC Guillotine is a fun little flag we have that, well, it allows us to slice NPCs in twain. And you might be going, well, that is a little broken. And you're not wrong.
It is actually kind of broken.
And that's because you can actually slice through the rod plate here in Earth without needing the rod.
The loot plate too, in Topher, in case you're feeling particularly vicious.
Yep.
Yeah. So usually we all just have a gentleman's agreement to just not do that. Because that kind of ruins the game if we're playing with this feature. Now, something to note, in case you feel like going around and killing every single NPC in the entire game. If you go into the room of bats that's here in the randomizer, where we've dumped all the bats here on this particular floor of Earth that Dengwoo was in, don't walk too far in there, because there's 4 trap tiles in there, and if there's a nasty trap on there, they'll just annihilate you. I did that once. That was an oopsie.
Speaking of a beautiful, beautiful tile, look at these mages.
That is a nice grind tile right there. And it's I think it's the Agama tile, so you can just sit here all day killing these weak things. Lovely.
Absolutely. No, that's the,
it's the
red dragon tile.
Red D. Yep. Also want to thank DeFerret60 over in chat for subscribing to Speed Gaming Prime. They've been subscribed for 28 months. Thank you, DeFerret.
And you may have noticed Ding was in a bit of a dicey situation, seeing all those undead sitting where they were.
Yeah.
Glad he made it out alive.
Yeah, every time that pack comes up, you gotta feel that clench just a little. Like, oh, no. So now he just needs to make these last few steps. Oh, right. Shuffle
I was
Fiends.
about to say, wait for it.
Wait. Shuffle. Oh, Tiamat with fast, no less. Oh, okay. And high absorb. And his character's high enough level. That's some evade, too.
Ooh. Tia is going to be a little scary.
So far, just casting out spells. A bit of chip damage with the ribbons he has. Could be worse. Getting those lock 2s going, that's going to help. Yep, up to 4 hits already for that black belt. Tia comes back with just more chip damage. Still going up with those tempers. 3 hits, 198. Tia's going to slowly start dipping because we know they're not clamped now. More fire too. Another temper comes around. Here we go. There's the Banes now. Slightly less chance to hit than the Brack, but still, that's the spell you want to rely on at this point with a Tia that might have health. But, second we say that, Tia is down. Fire Orb is lit. The Fire Dragon of the Volcano has been defeated, and that puts Ale at 55 minutes and 55 seconds, the first on the board with an orb. And that is the Fire Orb, in case you're curious. Now, Kyo Deshin asking in chat whether or not that means Carrie is that Sky. We don't know. There's 3 spots left and 3 fiends, and they can be anywhere.
And as JLo has said in chat, orb.
Orb! Since that's apparently a meme we have to do now.
Just gotta stick with it, you know. So Elmarkin sailing the high seas again.
He's sailing east, straight over from Crescent. Is he about to go do the spicy Earth dip too? Kind of looking.
It's
no,
looking like it's possible. It's looking like it's very possible.
Actually, I think at this point he's just taking a pleasure cruise.
That's a possibility too. Ooh.
He does have that key. He might be going to make his key plays now.
Yeah, that's exactly what just popped into my head.
Mm-hmm. So Dang has managed to make it a little further on the Earth floor than I think he's ever made it before. Gonna desperately hope he can get through this.
Suddenly, Thunder Ogres.
A lit 2 Cane +1. Power Staff -4. Thankfully, Power Staff is useless anyway. And just a bunch of money and junk.
Okay, so we have a request for a recap. So...
Things happened.
Yeah, he's right. In all seriousness, though. So,
did he just... Wait, hold on. Did he just kill the blacksmith?
I think he did.
Okay, I want to make sure I saw it. It's like, no, you get to die. I annihilate you in the process. Okay, Sonny, go ahead with your recap now.
Hang on, because we got a clinching situation right here with the ambush on Dengwoo's side with all of these specters and geists. This could actually be quite bad. And they're
he got the round.
It's gonna have to come down to turn order. So far, things are looking okay. Greg's looking a little low in health, but that lit 3 comes out at an opportune time.
Okay, while we're talking about that, I believe we just found our 3rd ribbon 4. That one's sitting over there in locked Topher. Ale is sitting on a bounty of riches right here with that Masamune, that Sun Sword, 3 ribbons, an opal. Like, it's crazy. And a Goldo. The rich just keep getting richer.
Oh gosh, yes. Alright, so, the recap that was asked for. Here we go. So this seed started out with the bridge actually being in the top left of Temple of Fiends. Garland blocking the princess, leading to the ship in the canal. Which then led to Bicky holding the crown.
And just to interrupt for a quick moment, that is our 4th ribbon 4 right there for Dengwoo in the Earth Floor Treasury. Continue.
Shoutouts to low
randomized
treasure value. So Bicky in Provoca had the crown. And then that leads to Astos, who had the canoe, and then everything just blew open from that point. The cube loose in Earth, the chime available in Crescent Lake for 22,000 gold. Marsh had the TNT. Sky, not even Sky, Mirage 2 had the loose rod in the top right chest. What else am I missing? Oh yeah, Oxyale was in Ordeals. So Go Mode was obtained by Dengwoo in 39 minutes and 56 seconds. He's been in Go Mode for about 21 minutes, but hasn't been able to light an orb. Ailmarkin has found a Masamune 4 in Ice Cave. and Dengwoo has found a Masamune 4 on Earth Basement 3.
Very nice. Thank you, good sir. So yeah, it's the thing is, Ale Markin actually has only half of his way to go mode. He's still searching around trying to figure out what those last 2 treasures are. I think the second he gets go mode, he's done. Because he's got just about all the treasure he ever could want. But he has more progress, technically, than Dengwoo, because he has a crystal Dengwoo doesn't have yet.
Ooh, Ding just let Greg die, and there's the trance dance party coming out,
Trance baby.
Paralyzing all of Dang's warriors. They went to the laser rave. Oh, that's
and they have glance. And Fire 3! Oh, wow. This is a terrible pack.
This is a scary pack.
This is
a very scary pack.
Okay, so it's not Blaze Arachnids, but I have to admit that this is, even without those particular monsters that I have seen before, this is perhaps one of the worst Earth Caves I've seen in a long time.
He does make it out of that battle before anything worse can happen.
Yeah. Only sitting on about 30-ish health pots at this point. Hopefully he does have a soft good, but this is going to eat up a lot of his resources, and if he hits another bad pack after this, it's going to be a tough spot that he's in.
Yeah, and there is no telling which fiend is going to be at Lich out of the 3 that remain.
We did have a... Oh no, not these guys again. We did have a question in chat about whether or not this was the Trance Revolution 4th mix. I believe actually it is Trance Revolution Supernova 2, in case you're curious.
I tried to hold a straight face through that, and nope.
To be fair, I had to look up at the shelf of all the Dance Dance Revolution games that I bought for my wife a little while ago. I was like, which one do I want to reference?
Oh, I love it. It could be Trance Revolution Mario Mix.
Ooh, hey, that's a nice one. Showgram making fun of me in chat saying it's the wife I bought them for. I play other Dance Dance games. I never got into that particular one.
Alright, Dengwoo, finally out of Earth 4 there.
Oh! Okay. What was I saying about the rich just getting richer?
Really, Locked Marsh? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think just about every incentivized chest they could find has had something in it. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So who's gonna be here? Oh!
Hi, Kraken. How are you doing?
So we have a Master of Arms here for a party that doesn't really have the resources they needed. He's trying to blind Kraken. I love it.
It's not gonna work. You're gonna get blind instead. This is legit. Good luck with those Banes.
I mean, there's what, like a 16% chance it could happen?
Something like that.
Getting good damage.
Actually was useful.
Yeah. Getting good hits off of that Masamune, though. The Knight did, what was that, like 300 or so damage there?
Poison smoke! Poison smoke!
He did it!
It came through!
Never doubt the power of Bane.
The poison smoke comes through and Ding takes down Kraken!
Saint Bane has prevailed. That is. And that puts Dang back in the lead again for now. Especially with Aelmark and like just kind of farting around here trying to figure out where his go mode items are. I mean, we all understand the play Ale is making. Ale doesn't want to orphan anything, and he doesn't want to go to dungeons that he doesn't have all the items for. It hurts, because we know where what he needs actually exists.
So, Yeah. There was a comment that was stupid. Do it again. Yes, Baning Kraken is just dumb, but it's so hype when it happens. What's even more dumb is you can make Chaos susceptible to Bane.
Uh-huh.
It's a 3 in 256 chance to hit it.
Yep.
Good luck.
I mean, didn't Will Cleosis win 2 different matches in previous spring tournaments doing that against, like, people he should have, like, had no chance of winning?
I do believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, at least one of them was against Trystal, I remember that much.
Hey, better to be lucky than to be good, right?
I think Trystal would disagree with that.
Sorry, Trystal, if you're listening.
That's the unspoken flip side of the coin of Triss luck, which is that when you play against Will Cleosis, the luck goes his way.
Oh. Alright, so Dengwoo, 1 orb, Ailmark in 1 orb. Dengwoo definitely has a significant lead right now, but he's definitely on that fetch quest grind.
Yeah, I think he's still thinking about what build out he needs for his character armor wise. He has the Mazda 4 now, which pretty much gives him the endgame sword he wants, but he may not be entirely pleased with this. Oh, is he doing the long look? That fighter is staring at me.
He's staring at the giant, and he's like, nope, I'm in go mode.
He did. It clicked for him. He finally caught it.
Dengwoo, at 1 hour, 7 minutes, 35 seconds, finally realizes he's in go mode.
Oh my god. Whew!
Okay.
I gotta tell you, this has been the most fun, like, just commentating session, just watching these two guys, like, do their thing.
Yeah, this has been great so far. Ailmarkin turning in.
Oh!
Hi, Vorpal 4. I believe I said something about the Vorpal also being maybe just as good, if not better. But hey,
I mean, it's that thing that we talk about when you're playing vanilla, which is you use the Mazda or the Excal up to a point for like the last couple or 3 bosses, Tia and Chaos, if not Kraken as well. You switch over to the Vorpal because the critical hits are what's going to carry you through. We saw the blurst item there of the Mazda 4. We're like, no reason to worry about the Vorpal, but Vorpal decided to show me like, I can have a +4 too, and now that same exact decision you got to make is right there on the table again.
But it's not the Vorpal, it's the Forpal.
Forpal, yes, it is the Forpal. That is what it's officially called now.
Thank you, chat, for giving us the Forpal.
I love it.
Nothing. Hey, dang, there's nothing there. It's an Ice 3 sword!
It's not an Ice sword +3, an Ice 3 sword -1. The math, don't try and do the math on Twitch, I'm just saying.
Wait, that's the Bane sword.
It is.
Oh
that's
no.
the icon.
That's a bad sword. That is a really bad sword.
I'm gonna go on a limb here, but I don't foresee him killing Chaos with it in a Will Cleosis fashion.
Nope.
Nope.
Just
There's
nope.
the nurse. So nurse, of course, as we assumed, was over in Bahamut's cave. Ale is now going to continue doing his quest turn-ins. Meanwhile, Dengwoo, probably realizing he's in go mode. Oh, he's checked the greed chest and the trap tile to see what's here. Resets out. And he is going to run past it. Yep, so what everyone said, he has realized he's in go mode.
Oh, Dengwoo finally actually having that realization of being Ailmarkin, though. Just poor Ale. He's doing all of these checks, but has not gone to go check either Earth or Mirage, missing the rod and the cube, cube being in Earth, rod being in Mirage.
Yeah, he
It's
doesn't
a
want to do those.
nasty, nasty situation.
Yeah, I understand his reasoning, but it's holding him back right now. Now, it's an interesting point in chat is that Dengwoo got an Ice 3 sword, the Bane sword, off of the Sages. Technically, the Bane sword shouldn't be in the pool, but what Thunder is thinking, and I have to agree with him, is that the quote-unquote mage icon that we see on our list of incentivized items here on the website for these flags, that is actually what the mage is the Bane sword, I think, in this particular instance. It shouldn't be in the incentivized pool, but some error happens, and it is, and that's what it is.
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to Thunder for that reasoning. I appreciate it, and I can steal it and use it for my own now.
That's actually solid reasoning.
Yeah. 100%.
Hey, Dengwoo
So
does pick up that second ribbon 4, which technically is his third ribbon 4.
Yep. Yeah, so I would be really surprised at this point if he does much more in the way of greed checks. He's got... It's a minimum amount of, like, equipment here for him, but it's probably enough.
Yeah, he's just doing greed checks at this point. Well, I say greed checks. They're really free checks.
Yeah.
But he is going to go ahead and check this encounter tile and see that it's the Gershark Wizard Sahag tile. And, I mean, that's not a bad tile.
I mean, App there is casually swinging for 644 damage without any buffs on. Like, yeah, that's kind of what you want to see for your endgame guy.
But he's App?
And something nice to note is, as Dengwoo wanders right past the red D chest and doesn't even care, with the Maza and the Vorpal both in there, and them having a fighter and a ninja, that's 2 endgame swords for 2 endgame wielders. That's pretty nice.
So, I have a question, and chat, I would love it if you guys threw your thoughts on this as well. Between Sky and C, where do we think Lich is going to fall at this point? Because, I mean, Lich is going to get disrespected at this point.
Yeah.
I'm actually with Spells App on this one.
You think Sky?
I think Sky behind Mech.
Well, that's fair, because I was going to bet C. Like, my gut instinct says he's going to be lurking here where El Markin's at. So I guess we're each going to see, and we get to see which one's right.
We're going to see?
Yes. Yes, with CEA. Keep finding those buckle 2s. Those are so good.
So question in chat from JLo, is Mech forced? Yes, War Mech is required in this seed, so you will get 2 War Mech kills.
And it just occurred to me that they've had the tail this whole time. I'm so not used to playing seeds with a free tail. And Ale still has yet to class change. I think he's in it for the long haul with his black belt.
That would not surprise me. Ooh, Dengwoo may be in a bit of a sticky situation.
Yeah, Tia was wielding hard, and if you recall from what we were discussing before, he was... Ale got past him by using Bane strats. Well, no, he did get through it with damage, he just resorted to Bane strats.
Yeah, and Deng has lost the Knight App, and is now resorting to Ice 3 and attacking.
Attacking with that axe.
That lamp axe.
Yep. And I think he also, like, Dengwoo or Ale also lucked out because Tia did not want to swing at all at his characters. He was just doing entirely chip damage. Unfortunately, I believe that slow also just landed on Ale, question mark. So he's,
Bye-bye, Ale?
Ale?
But Ale didn't wipe. Why are you saying bye-bye, Ale? Reasons.
Maybe he's just not sure if it's ale or some other kind of brewed beverage. Maybe it could be like a wine cooler.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You never know. Is it ginger ale?
It's a root beer. It's still brewed.
There we go.
There.
Oh,
Oh,
hey.
there's a tile.
That's a money-making tile right there.
Yeah. And he's got the Fire 3 sword. This is an easy grind. Woo!
He's packing the heat.
Yeah, well, and they have 130 or less. Ooh, ice armor +1. That's nice. They have 130 or less health, so that Fire 3 sword is going to do work on this pack.
Absolutely.
And he's not using it. Ale, it's a free cast. There you go.
He may have missed menu.
Yeah, he went too quick. That's all it was. Oh, so 95 health. That
94.
94. I don't think he has to worry at all about these metal slimes, as long as they end up coming out with a skill or something.
Yeah, because he's just knocking them out with crits.
Even his bruisers are able to do it. What is the minimum health in vanilla, or what is the vanilla health for metal slimes?
Give me a moment. I'll actually get that info for you.
$156. I just found it on a webpage. So
Yep.
that should answer that right there. Trash mobs are not clamped. We just happen to see a lot of early ones that rolled high on their health.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see that they have less than 90 health. That is a free grind.
He got his characters up into the mid, or his fighter up into the mid 450s. Like, that's not a bad little bit of health right there. May have gotten the black belt high enough he doesn't have to swing a Mazda anymore to do damage. Like, I might have sat there and ground for another 5 minutes if it was me, because that's just free right there. Like, I don't think I've seen a grind tile be that free.
I have to agree with what
Mm-hmm.
Cyrenus said in chat, who also is our tracker. Shout out to Cyrenus. That would make a nice solo grind if
It was easier to get
more
to.
easily accessible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think they have the Lit 3 something as well. So, like, getting down here and getting back isn't impossible on a solo grind with casting items, but all it takes is, like, one unrunnable pack with, like, a mute or something, and then suddenly you're, like, in a slog and die. And you just don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, it would just be nasty to see. Ooh, Dane getting 2 Gersharks on this encounter. That's pretty nice to see.
Wouldn't surprise me if, with seeing how bad Tia is, he's here to try and find a grind tile, which, if I recall correctly, there's something on the red D tile that's actually pretty nice. Oh, you were right. Carrie's here at the seafloor, which means the weakest character is guarded by Warmech.
There we go. And Ale accidentally tempers the dead Dengwoo.
It happens. I honestly, like, knowing how... Well, they're... Yeah, you need to use some spells on here, but seeing how they are, I don't think temper's really all that important here. Save that for the fight that you're about to have later.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ale finally heading over to Mirage.
Gonna be kicking himself. I wonder if we're gonna see some kind of reaction when he finally gets that rod.
I have a feeling we probably will. He is not going to be happy in the slightest, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where you just expect to see him pause as he sets the controller down and rages quietly in his head.
All right, Deng grinding away on these mages, and Ale just going here in Mirage Tower, heading up to what I like to call the inequivalent room because the chests are shaped as a greater than sign and a less than sign, so I can't really call it greater than less than room.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing here for Ale is that he's here. Well, no, wait. Cube is locked in the first floor of Earth. So actually, this works out pretty well for Ale. He's going to get his rod, can't make progress any further, not going to have the risk of full clearing this. He's going to have to go do Earth. And he'll probably just go full clear, or finish out Earth while he's there, maybe on Go. Yeah, this is probably the best order that he could do at this point. It's basically the only order he could do, and it's going to be fine for him now.
It's very possible, but Dengwoo runs up to Tiamat at carry spot and pulls away. Opens up with an Ice 3 sword and a Bane. The Bane does not connect. Ice 3 doing chip damage. Second Bane coming out, doesn't connect. Mazza swing, 3 hits for 311. Some good crit damage coming from that.
The damage is definitely doing better.
More Bane coming out, missing. Ice 3 sword still doing that chip damage. Ale finding that cube. Mazza swing for a single point of damage.
1 hit, 1 point.
Next Bane cast coming out. Fortunately showing ineffective. Heal pot strats coming out. Quaffing those heal potions. Getting as much health out of them as possible. Another Bane cast coming up. Fortunately, rolling ineffective. But 3 hits, 246 coming from that Mazza, and more chip damage from the Ice 3. About a 300 damage round. Pretty good, all things considered there. Dark coming out. Not doing much of anything. Last Bane, ineffective. You hate to see it, but 3 hits, 53 damage. We got a second orb lit from Dengwoo.
And bear in mind that each of these players now is at 200% experience from where they were at before. That is really nice experience they're starting to earn at this point.
Yeah, actually they're sitting at 100%.
100 on top of what they had so far. So
yeah, so it's
total.
Yep. It's looking really nice so far.
Starting to get to the point where grinding is actually a good idea.
Thunder saw the Thundercats. Ho!
They were actually literally Thundercats. It's nice.
Yes, they were. Oh, Elmarkin flying back to Canaria. Gotta get some stuff.
Resources? Yeah. Just picking up resources. I think he wanted heal pots. Apparently they're not available.
Nah, he just wanted stuff and to resurrect me. No biggie.
This is a dry town. You can't get those kinds of potions here.
So Ale is going to go ahead and dive into Earth Cave, and this is actually going to put Aelmarkin into go mode. Dengwoo just has 1 dungeon remaining. Or 2 dungeons remaining, I'm sorry. But, I mean, it's about to be 1 dungeon. It's not going to matter.
He'll finish it quick. Sky Palace is a whole lot easier to do if you're not checking every chest, and as we saw from Volcano, he's not checking a lot.
You say he'll finish it quick, but, you know,
he has been getting the worst luck. Yeah. Oh, that is true. Required War Mech. That does change the...
This could take a little bit.
Could take a lot of it, honestly. I mean, he was suffering there against Teal 1.
Oh man, those man cats are just bringing the pain. Hitting that Black Wizard for 100 damage. Alright. Aelmarkin about to have that just bad feeling. There's the Lamp Axe and there's that cube. Aelmarkin is in go mode at 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 30 seconds. He's gotta be worrying about where Deng might be at this point.
Gonna go do the same trap chest checks or trap tile checks that Dengwoo did.
So loot is not required on the seed because it is short Topher.
I think I did actually see loot in their inventory, but it won't actually be required. Like, it's there, but they're not going to have to use it.
Correct. And it's a floaterless seed, which is really nice to see.
Ale still did get it and has an airship, which is part of how he's, like, catching up the way he is on Dengwoo. Does show the power of the speed of the airship. But Dengwoo's not suffering all that bad for the fact that he's had to sail everywhere.
No, he's not. Deng has been playing quite well, considering he's had to sail everywhere.
Keeping up, honestly.
Very, very much so. And now we get to see what the tile that normally holds the Blue Dragon actually holds for the runners tonight.
Imps, come on, imps. Aw, images. Boo.
But now, the Flying Fortress has been entered. There's a breach in the Flying Fortress.
And some could say that Dengwoo is flying through this fortress.
The hot new iMage as being pointed out in chat.
I had to stop buying them after I dropped my last iMage and it broke. Ooh, Dengwoo actually going and checking some chests here on the spider floor.
Oh, Deng getting a beautiful encounter here. Only downside right now is, you know,
I don't think
doesn't know how much health he had. Deng doesn't know how much health those slimes have, so he's gonna miss out on that EXP.
Well, I was gonna say, and you know what? I don't think he picked up the Fire 3. It was in the top side of Marsh, and he skipped top side and only checked the chests on the way down and in the bottom of Marsh.
Ooh, this could be a scary encounter right now. And nope. That fear was mitigated.
Good.
No Fire 3 sword though is definitely a huge detriment. But that's a pro ring -4.
And although we didn't mention it before because we had other stuff we were talking about, but yeah, even the Earth Cave chest here that was tri-state incentivized ended up being incentivized because the bottle was lurking inside it. Yeah.
I forgot Earth Cave was tri-stated. So every tri-state incentive chest had an item, an actual progression item.
And even some of the incentivized chests that weren't technically incentivized had incentive items in them.
This is interesting.
It's quite a fun little scene.
Aylmarkin getting iced down. Werewolf's looking at him saying he needs to go on ice.
Giving him the cold shoulder.
That icy glare.
That was even better. I like that.
Thank you.
They were cold as ice, willing to sacrifice.
Nice rhyming.
Thank you. So I didn't write the song, so...
That is correct. Ale has not class changed, so there's no life spell available for him. What's this guy chest going to hold? Hey, first incentive chest that doesn't hold an incentivized item that also wasn't incentivized.
Interesting. Yeah, Ale is working on his black belt and trying to get his black belt to a point where he can be relied on. I mean, I don't know how far he's going to take a grind once he decides to do it. Clearly, he's going for as many orbs as he can get before he really does it, because it's the orbs that grant the bonus experience, and he doesn't want to be stuck doing a grind that will just take too long.
Wow, Ale just took out Kraken like Kraken was nothing.
I mean, Thundercloud raises an interesting point in chat that he would have just class changed, because you've got the Opal Bracelet and you've got 3 bonus ribbons. Like, not really holding you back at that point. Wow, that Kraken right there went so fast I didn't even have a chance to talk about it.
Yeah, Kraken got sliced up and now is getting deep fried.
Myrtleated,
Calamari for
yeah.
everybody.
It is delicious. I mean, I can understand.
Alright, so we've got Deng slowly approaching what normally would be the Bridge of Destiny. But it's not going to be the Bridge of Destiny at this point, since War Mech is required. The question is going to be, how difficult will the War Mech be?
Yeah, Ale got through that Earth Cave like it was nothing. Just like, you know, his first taunting dive into March that he did before he decided to, like, screw around for a bit. He has definitely had much better luck in most of these dungeons than Dengwoo has been suffering through.
I definitely have to agree on that. And Ale most definitely is ahead. Oh, hey, Sky Maze is on! Oh, no!
Skipping past first floor. Oh, he's already done these 2 floors. Of course he's skipping past it. My bad. Yeah, the question is going to be how much of this dungeon he checks, because right now he's a crystal ahead of Dengwoo.
Yeah, this is a little tight right now.
Oh, and there's a War Mech coming up. He's trying to decide whether or not he, like, continues on with this, what he's gonna do, how he's gonna do it.
Yeah, this
he's
tough call.
Walking out.
Deng is at a massive disadvantage right now, not having airship, no floater.
Because yeah, if you had the airship, even with the long walk inside of Gaia, it's just a quick flight over there, you revive, and then you move on. He's gonna have to not only walk this out, he has to sail around to a place that has a town he can use. He may just go and do Water Palace instead.
Yeah. He's gonna go ahead and warp on out and get that save done. The high five has been done.
And out he runs.
And Deng is running for it.
So yeah, 100% Ale is now clearly in the lead.
Ale has a significant lead right now. But we still will have Topher, which could equalize everything. We also have the maze.
Yeah, the maze is going to be interesting. He's really going to have to work to get through that. The bonus for Ale here is that with the Mazamoon and a decently online black belt already, like, and we know the fact that the War Mech isn't clamped, because bosses just aren't. The War Mech may not be as bad as we're worried about, it's just, it could go either way.
Yeah, we really don't know how it's going to look, and, you know, this maze is winding around a little bit. I like it.
You know, everyone's afraid of this fight, and I can't deny that they're tough, but the Wizvamps are worth a lot of money, or experience. They're tasty.
Yes to both.
Yes. I mean, at the point in the game where you actually see them, you don't really care about money anymore, but the tasty, tasty experience, please, keep pouring that on.
Absolutely.
I'm already lost here. I don't even know where we are in this maze. This is why I don't play with Sky Maze.
You know, we're somewhere in the maze. That's the best I got.
Yeah. There are walls. I'm following them.
I don't know where I am in the maze, but I know I'm against a...
Just put your hand on one side of the wall and walk around until you get out. That's what you gotta do. It's easy.
You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Is this the deep dungeon mod?
In this particular instance, it's a deep... Hey! Deep maze. There we go. Got a fighter. That's an easy experience right there. If you can hit them. I may have spoken too soon. And they're unrunnable. That's funny.
Oh gosh.
Thankfully,
What
they're
if
not
that
hitting
wall
from
turns
us.
7 different ways? Oh gosh.
And
All
here
right.
we go.
Ailmarkin has approached the Warmech.
Sonny, take us away.
All right, so Warmech's going to open up with a rub because, unfortunately, Ailmarkin got ambushed. Then follow that up with a lit 2. So it looks like Warmech's going to be spicy with casting those spells. Temper going off onto the Black Belt, who is still wielding that Mosmune, and the Warrior swinging away with that Sun Sword, not dealing much damage. But that Black Wizard goes down. Unfortunately, I am dead. But 5 hits, 222. That Warmech is paper.
And you know, I wouldn't worry about this here because what we have following him up is a speed bump. 550. Wow. Whew. Dang. Well, that was a fight right there.
Lich had more HP than Warmech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta feel bad for Dengwoo, because, like, I can totally understand his leaving because he was down to 2 characters and didn't want to get annihilated after all that exploring he did. But at the same time, knowing what we know now... Ooh. Ooh.
Oof.
So now, Ale is sitting on all 4 of his orbs. He can go to Topher at any time. The question is just going to be, how much of a grind, if any, does he do before he finishes this out?
That's the tough call.
$65,000 question, or whatever that show was called.
64.
Thank you.
From Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh, see, I was actually thinking the $64,000 pyramid, but okay.
That'd be the $100,000 pyramid.
I think it had a number of numbers over the years.
Yeah, 25,000 and 100,000.
Yeah.
My knowledge of old game shows for some reason. Don't ask it. But
Hey,
in
it's
any
fine.
case, Ailmarkin has entered Topher and going left side first, encounters Lich 2.
Oh, right, because we have a short Topher, so, like, the math on this is really different. Like, anyone
don't know if
saying...
it's chaos.
It's true. Anyone saying you gotta hope that it's a nasty Topher wipe or 2 for Dengwoo to catch up. A few more of those.
Ooh, Kraken 2 punching like a boss.
Mm-hmm. Kraken, they give him the fighter a whacking, but Kraken was papery. They're all kind of papery.
Absolutely. So we actually have been rated. Welcome everybody from Speed Gaming 2. You are tuning into the Final Fantasy Randomizer Iron Golem Heavy Metal match between our number 1 contender Ailmarkin and the number 8 contender Dengwoo. Ailmarkin just pulled Chaos. Chaos opening up with a nuclear. Temper going out onto the Black Belt. 3 hits for 3 damage from that warrior. 4 hits for 196 with that Mazda. Another Temper going out. Fighter swinging. 5 hits, 5 damage. Black Belt swinging. 4 hits, 270. There's a crit. 2 hits from Chaos for 163 onto the fighter itself. Black Belt swinging again. 5 hits, 107. Temper going out. Back onto that Black Belt. Getting as buff as possible. 4 hits, 4 damage from that Sun Sword on that fighter. Not doing much there. But 4 hits, I believe that was about 165, 168. Another Temper coming out. And 4 damage in 1 swing. Or not even 1 swing, but 1 hit. 2 hits, 148 onto that fighter. Fighter is down. 2 hits, 252 from that Mazda. Chaos has got to be feeling a bit now. Gonna wait. Black Belt swings. 3 hits, 527. That is a massive crit. Crack coming out from Chaos. Not doing much of anything. Damage poison coming out. Black Mage goes down. The Black Belt swings. 3 hits, 698. Chaos goes down for Ailmarkin. Get your GGs out for him. He finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 27 seconds. Ale holds his spot as the #1 contender to the champion.
He gets to keep his position. He stays at #1 and now is qualified to challenge Spellzap again anytime that he wants. And meanwhile, Dengwoo will slip down to the #7 position. And, of course, obviously, he will have to try and find someone else to challenge if he wants to rise back up ranks.
I gotta say, that was a good chaos fight.
Oh, yes. That was a phenomenal fight all around. And, worth noting, one of the few tri-states that didn't tri-state in our whole thing was the alt final boss.
Yeah, and alt final boss was tri-state, and nope, it was chaos. It was not the alt final boss. Dengwoo heading up to, well, Kraken's orb, but it's really carry. So you could say
the
he's
water
gonna carry
orb.
on.
Yeah, the water orb. It's fine.
He's just gonna carry on. Everything's gonna be okay.
So we know this carry isn't really that scary. Not a scary carry. So let's look at Dengwoo, his 3 orbs. And then he just has to go back to Sky and try and get through that a second time. Sky, honestly, with the maze and the war mech, not quite as scary as Earth Cave, but up there.
It will be a little taxing on resources, though.
Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, at that point, after the amount of work it took to get through that Sky Cave, Topher was like, it's kind of a letdown.
Yeah, Topher definitely was a bit of a letdown. And we are joined with our winner, Ailmarkin. GG's, dude.
GG's.
Thank you, guys. That was man, that was back and forth all across everything. I felt like on that seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a little while there where we counted you out because we are going to discuss this in detail with you. Dengwoo had a clear advantage on you for a little while, and then you kept plugging away, and he was doing his thing. And at a certain point, you just took the lead and ran it for the last good 40 minutes or so there. How do you feel about all that?
I mean, I don't know. I think checking Ice Cave early-ish for that Masa +4 was really nice. I feel like the Ice 2/Blizzard Werewolves in Marsh were not quite as friendly as they should have been.
Yeah, so we wanted to ask you about that. You did that happy little victory lap there at the start trying to get rid of your thief, and Karma kind of got you.
I'm sitting there just like, okay, well, Dang did his job. He got me down into Marsh and back out of Marsh. Let me just see if I can kill him off real quick and just run 3-man, because that was the plan after I saw this party comp. And I'm like, let me just loop-de-loop around the stairs. Maybe this will happen. And I see the werewolves. I'm like, nothing easy. They should punch me. Oh, look, they have Ice too. Oh, look, they have Blizzard. Let me just pay for my hubris right now.
You definitely paid for it.
You go back and watch the VOD. There's a good 3 minutes of us just laughing about that.
Oh, I was laughing about it too. I was just like, I could have walked out and used the tent. He would have only gotten back 30 HP, but I mean, this is all for fun, and to hear you guys are having a chuckle at it, that makes me happy, because I was definitely laughing at myself, like, wow, I should have done this differently, but it worked out fine.
So, tell me, because I am curious about this. When you found that rod in Mirage 2, what was going through your head?
So, I'd killed... Who was it down in Kraken's lair? Was it, I think it was Carrie. So I killed Carrie. I meant to go check Mermaids, and I totally forgot about it. So I was like, well, I've got the chime. Let me just go check Mirage real quick and see if there's something there. It's just 2 floors. Maybe I'll find the cube. Maybe I won't. Who knows? So I found the rod. I was like, all right, great. And I'm trying to think in my head, like, what haven't we seen yet? So, like, we haven't seen the cube. We haven't seen, I think it was probably, like, the Thor hammer and one of the shirts. So it's like, so I got a 1/3 chance that maybe, you know, Lich will be down in his regular spot. I can get something from the sages. And then, you know, I booked it back to Earth, and I found the cube down there. I was like, well, I no longer care about those sages. Let's just go and kill Lich. So it made it really great because I was kind of dreading. I realized after I found the rod that I had forgotten to check mermaids. I was like, oh crap, if the cube's in there, that's going to bite me in the tail. Like, this is going to be forever before I go back there. But it wasn't, so that kind of worked out for me.
It definitely worked out for you. And, I mean, from there, as I said, the rest is history.
So at this point, this qualifies you to challenge Spellzap again. Are you going to try and get that challenge in before the spring tournament starts, or are you just going to hold off on it?
I thought I was still in the 21-day cooldown period, so I'm going to have to...
If you take a challenge and defend it, your cooldown period resets.
Oh.
Yes.
Well then. I'm going to have to think on that one, because... I think I'm probably not going to, just because I don't think any of us knew that little footnote.
That was one of the first rules. I will reconfirm that with Gouda in chat before you go and challenge Spellzap. But that was one of the first rules that we came up with, was that if you decide to just sit on it, then you don't get to do anything. But, you know, if you actually take a challenge and defend it, then you can go and re-challenge again afterwards.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to, just because I think with that now just now coming up, I think that would have allowed us to
reorganize
some other challenges in the past.
Yeah.
But I think on the other hand, too, at this point, everyone's kind of focused on spring tourney, and I think that's the way it really should be. Mm-hmm. You know, we've got like our reveal coming up tomorrow night. We've got possibly the first match happening tomorrow night. I don't want to sit there and shoehorn in and say, oh, hold on, wait a minute now.
That's fair. And it's a rule that we can clarify for this Irongol thing, and especially since we're going to have a Royal Rumble after, I think, Spring Tournament to shake up all the rankings, then, you know, if that's going to be the rule moving forward, you can definitely start using it to your advantage afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this was an entertaining little seed right here. Anything about it aside from having to go back and forth between Earth and Sky Cave? Any of the things that came up that like entertained you here?
I had a laugh when I jumped in here in the Sky 4 where Dengwoo's currently running around, because I had forgotten that we had turned on the maid. So I was starting to do my usual left up, and I was like, oh wait, there's a wall there. Huh. Well, that throws this. But luckily left and up, and I think some right convergence up top was kind of the way to go.
We got a question. Got a question in chat from Cheeseneer asking what the scaling was on these. The scaling was tri-state. Could have been as low as 40 or up to 200. I think from what we saw of the metal slimes and the fact that they rolled like Italy health, and we probably did actually have unclamped. So 40 to 200, I think, is what they ended up rolling at.
So, here's a question for you, Ale, thanks to our tracker. Did you forget you had the tail?
No, so I saw Bahamut sitting there in the corner when I did my first run through Melmond, and I kind of scratched my head because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to go black belt strats or not, so I scrolled through the seed flags real quick, and was like, alright, well, it's vanilla growth, so I don't want to promote early, even though I could at least make use of some white magic. So I kind of just chose not to, and then felt like I never had to go back for it, so...
That makes sense.
Here we go with another round of this Warmech right here that we know is actually more papery than you expect, even if he does have a solid bit of defense. Dengwoo's getting his buffs out. Yup. Really trying to buff through this fight and actually make sure it gets taken care of properly. Whole round of buffs there at start. Can't say I blame him for that strategy. Sometimes the best offense is a good defense, especially when you're taking on the robot chicken right here. Another round of Sabering coming out, some more Invis 2s. And then we got a second lock too, that's smart. Don't want to have to worry about Warmech running away from you on this one. Another round of buffs, finally attacking out there with that ninja. And I'm gonna try quaking the Warmack of all things. Understandably, it fails, but and this 2 comes out, then that ninja's gonna be able to swing right there. 6 hits, 546 damage, instantly dead. Ton of experience dropping on there. His character's almost into the 30s. Sees that there's nothing there after he destroys that Warmack. Yeah, you killed it. It's gone. And now he can go take on Lich.
Slash.
I know, right? It's all the wind up for that, like a pitcher right there, and then just dead.
Literally sliced in twain.
I didn't realize the ninja was the One Punch Man.
It is when it's named Ale.
With a question mark.
Ale? So that's a question we had for you. Maybe you can answer. Since it's that's awesome.
Nice.
Since it's ale with a question mark, we're curious. Is it an ale? Is it like a wine cooler? Is it a root beer? What do you think it is? Because you be the source.
I must say it's one of the Not Your Daddy's root beers.
Ooh, those are good.
Dang now has to go sail his way down so he can walk across over to the Temple of Fiends.
Did Dang never go back to Locked Marsh Cave?
He never got
no,
the
he was
airship.
So this is how the difference of what things went for the two of you. He never got airship because, although I think we and chat realized he didn't know it for another 25 minutes or so. He was in go mode at the 40-minute mark, and just never bothered going into Marsh because he had almost all the key items he needed. So like you took a completely different path because you were following fetch quests and everything. He hit the right sources and basically had Cube and Chime and Rod and Canoe like as some of his first key items, and then he was just done. And it was just looking around for levels and items at that point.
Makes sense, because it was around like the hour, 15-minute mark. I'm just sitting there looking at it. I'm like, you're doing these races, you just start feeling behind, and that's where I was at, like the hour and 15-minute mark. I'm like, why am I expecting Dengwoo to like done any moment now? And it just kind of kept getting dragged out and dragged out and dragged out, and didn't happen. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not behind. Like, maybe I did something right today. I don't know.
I think if Ale and Sonny, you can chime in, and we've been chatting for the last hour and a half. I'm sure we're kind of of similar minds about this. But I think if Dengwoo had realized he was in go mode at the 40-minute mark, his whole back half of his play would have been drastically different.
Yeah, I think so as well. Also, we did chat. You guys did see a Brack stick. That was a Brack stick, and I completely missed it as well. And we're gonna get Dang strats again. Oh, it missed. If that had hit, I was about to go boop.
Lich tried his own Dang strats though and missed as well.
Seems legit.
All Dang all the time. Oh, and Nuke. Oh, Dang strats are dead.
That's why you don't play with your food.
Because he wanted to see what the next spell was.
Ambushy Carry has lit 2 for some chip damage.
So, one thing I do want to point out that I didn't notice in the shop earlier is those gold bracelets were neutral.
Yeah, they were.
That's actually pretty nice.
They're solid at that point. I mean, the coppers, I think, rolled low, the silvers rolled low, and the opals rolled low. So actually finding a bracelet that was decent was outside the curve.
Absolutely. Alright, so, Tia 2. Carry 2 wasn't that bad. What's going to happen here with Tia 2?
Well, apparently they have a lot of absorb because that was 2 hits for 2 damage off of that lamp axe.
The brightest axe in the world.
Tiamat must be wearing sunshades. Inferno, that's just chip damage right there.
She's just trying to warm them up.
Mm-hmm. So it's like when you hold up a magnifying glass and you can just like charge the sunlight through it.
Oh, yep. Warm up is done. That was 6 hits for 590 damage. Quad X coming out, not being effective.
Still at least more than 300 health there. Maybe not so much now. There you go.
Nope, that's it.
That'll do it. Don't do a victory lap. Don't. Wait. Okay. Stop. No. What?
Nope,
No.
Oh, dang. Don't tempt fate. You're gonna run into Kraken.
Don't pull an ale. Don't get saucy with your victory laps.
Darkman, my friend. I'd like to take this chaos.
I can do that, sir. Finishing up his heals, trying to make sure his character's the rest of the way ready. Looks like a little bit of reorganizing might be happening, deciding where he wants to put stuff. Has his black belt up, throws that ice sword on there. He's going to use that to cast off with his meat shieldy black belt. Prepared for his buffs, thinking about how he wants to get some stuff. Temper comes out, Saber comes out, a couple charges there on him. Ice Invis 4 comes out as well. Good turn order so far. All the buffs line up, and the Ice 3 before Chaos can even do anything. Got Invis 2s. Another Lock 2. Invis 2 comes out. And Temper. Lovely turn order right there. Zap rolls out. Kills the meat shield. No one cares about him. It's fine. Lock 2 as well. That's going to make Chaos a little easier for him to hit right now at this point. Gonna do another round of buffing and decide if what he wants to do next. Nuclear comes out. Does put the ninja on the ropes right now. And Viz 2 comes out though. Gotta hope another spell doesn't come out that's gonna be nasty like that. Bane comes out through this. Spore hits 674. Another couple hits like that. Chaos should be dead. Drink strats. Another sword swing. 5 hits, 539. Heal 3 rolling out. Gonna get himself some health there. And the drink strats. Chaos swings. Chaos misses. Invis seems to have done its job. Heal pot's coming out. Heal pot's coming out. Cracks coming out. Not going to do anything with that. Ribbons are going to prevent that from doing anything at all. 6 hits. 685. And that's going to be all she wrote for both sides of Chaos. Dengwoo has finished at an official SRL time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 6 seconds. Get your GGs out for both our racers here. Good job, Dengwoo.
And there it is.
Woo!
I gotta say, solid seed overall. Kinda nasty at the start.
A little nasty.
Definitely eased up at the end.
Joined in chat by Dengwoo. Dengwoo, good job there. Good.
I would call that a interesting time. I have never been kicked out of so many dungeons in my entire life.
So, Dengwoo, I have a question for you.
I'm scared, but I'll take it. Okay, bring it.
Did you not realize you were in go mode after you grabbed Oxy Ale?
I mean, I did, but I still needed to find... I mean, okay, no, I didn't. I mean, I did in a way, but at the same time, like, I didn't have access to any spells whatsoever, so I was like, I'm gotta rely upon chests, and I'm still looking around like, oh yeah, right, I'm in go mode. You saw me at some point, but it was like, I just kept getting kicked out of one dungeon to the next dungeon to the next dungeon, and so I'm just worrying of just trying to gain levels so I can go do a dungeon to actually gain bonus experience, and they're just like, nah. It was good times though. It was fun. I really enjoyed the werewolves with Blizzard and Ice 2 and Nachos rolling 5 hits that completely destroyed my dive in the sky. It was great.
Thunder Ogres.
Oh yeah. Randomly Thunder Ogres was fantastic. I ran into a couple of them earlier. I was like, oh yeah, easy, no problem. I'll just run from them. Thunder, like, what? Where'd that come
I don't remember the Thunder Ogres, so you got me on that one.
And then Tiamat 1, like, I couldn't hit it. I couldn't hit a broadside of a barn. You know, I'm trying to whack it with a sword, and it's just like, I'm this big barn. You can't hit me. And I'm just like, all right, you win.
You were throwing a piece of straw into the wind to hit her, and yeah, it was just flying over her.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of things I could have done a lot better too, but I knew I was up against a very good runner, and I was trying to do things aggressively, and I paid for it. So it is what it is.
So your victory lap in Topher.
That scared us.
You thoroughly scared us because you got so close to fighting Kraken 2 there.
I mean, so since it wasn't long Temple of Fiends Revisited, I couldn't troll our commentators by running into the Temple of Fiends locked, thing or whatever, and act like I didn't have the keys. So I was like, I'll just act like I'm gonna do the victory lap into Kraken 2.
Ooh.
And I'm really glad that my controller didn't act up there and I accidentally run into it, because that was awkward.
If you had, I would have been laughing.
Laughing so hard. I mean, I think we would have screamed no first, and then we would have laughed and commentated it.
No,
Yep.
I mean, that was the one thing I'm like, all right, I'm going to mess with them here. I'm going to do the victory lap. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, the victory lap. And then my controller fritzes out and says, actually, you're going to try and take on Kraken 2. And I'm like, yeah, I'll probably die.
Yeah, I did a victory lap early in this seed. Dang, you'll have to watch the VOD to see what I did early and how much it was, how fun it was.
It was the best victory lap you will ever see.
You're gonna love it so much.
So, did we find the floater anywhere? Because I was just like, eh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, where was it?
Key locked marsh.
Wait, where's the key?
Ice cave.
Ice cave.
So what you're saying is I should have went to Ice Cave a lot earlier, because apparently it would have saved me a lot of time.
It wasn't just Ice Cave. It was the incentivized chest in Ice.
What was all in there?
The key was in the, like Dark said, the incentivized chest, but there was also that Masa +4 sitting in there as well. So that was really nice.
Yeah, there were two of those.
Bosses?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I only found the one. That was tragic.
Yeah, the other one was in the vamp floor. That very first room.
Yep. Yeah. All I did was check the vampire chest. I skipped everything else on Earth. So
I found that. Ran into the Geist with cremate. Are you kidding me? I have never wiped so many cremates in my life. I'm sorry, not Geist. The Spectres with cremate and the Geist with Scorch. Oh, it was awful. And they were unrunnable.
It was like Scorch and Cremate and Slow, and I think a Lit 2 was in that pack as well. And you hit that so many times, and like we're bounced 4 or 5 times out of that dungeon.
I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get Masa and I'm gonna walk. And I'm like, okay, well actually I can put the ribbon on the Black Mage. There's no way that this encounter is gonna be that common. I went through 6 charges on my Lit 3 clearing them. I was like, well, I guess I gotta warp out now.
I mean, after facing the marsh you guys did, I guess Earth just needed to turn up the heat.
See, I didn't feel like Earth was that bad because I went top marsh and found that Fire 3 sword. And that was like my MVP for the entire run.
I mean, I kept running into the werewolves or gerwolves or whatever with their clear spell, and then something else had an AoE spell that kept wiping me out of marsh. So I ran away from that, and then I'm like, let's go to Earth, herp derp, and got wiped out of that from other things.
Might it have been the bones with Blizzard by chance?
Oh, yeah, the bones with Blizzard, yeah. So then I run from those, I get cremated instead by going to Earth, and then I got thundered by ogres. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll go to Mirage since I found the rod. Or, I found the chime or whatever it was. So I go to... I do some convoluted route, and I end up in Mirage. And I'm just like, I'm going to grind guards with no experience bonus. There's no way that this could go awful for me. It was good. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Let's not shuffle the magic like that again.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing to discuss here, because the Magic Chop Shuffle is a fairly new feature that we have here. Actually, shuffling the shops around. And like in theory, it seems interesting, but then you play it in practice, and you're sitting there going, at least for me, and I'm curious how you guys feel about it. Like, maybe I don't want to ever use this feature again.
So I actually loaded up a seed to practice earlier today, just because I noticed that flag wasn't on, and because we're running from the beta site, we get the cool little tooltips now that show us here's exactly what this flag does.
Mm-hmm.
But that tooltip confused me because it shows the person walking into the white magic shop. I'm sorry. Yeah, the black magic shop in Canaria. It says white magic up top in the center, but it has black magic on the side. So it really confused me on how it worked, as if it was just if it shuffled white and black, or if it just shuffled levels.
That's my bad. Yeah, that's my bad, because I apparently forgot to change the title on that tooltip. That's a good one to mark in the dev area. Yeah, no. Mark that in the dev area, and then I can go and fix that later, because I did most of those images.
So, but I was telling Dang, I was practicing because I wanted to see how it worked. And the seed that I ran earlier, levels 1 through 4 white magic were all vanilla, but black magic was the only thing that was randomized. And I'm like, I don't know how this works yet, because I'm inconclusive. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't get far in the practice seed earlier, so...
It's just it's so confusing, because it requires a lot of notes, because if you include like town shuffle on top of it or something like that, every magic shop is completely switched. Like, I thought it was going to be like towns, like the actual town magic shops were switched all together, I guess, if that makes sense.
So like all the level 2s would go one place, all the level 3s would go
So it like completely threw me off when I got to Provoke, and it's like, okay, level 2 magic's here because there's white magic, and then I went down to black magic. I'm like, sweet, I got warp. Wait, why does that cost 10 grand? Oh, it's level 5 now. Okay, where did you come from?
I mean, then again, warp's vanilla level is 5 anyway.
True, but now it just was kind of. It was really. I mean, it was fine. It was fun. Trying to remember everything too. I'm like, where was Fast? Where did whatever. All blended together. No, it was fun though. I hope people enjoyed it. I wish I could have kept up a little bit closer to Ale there, but he deserves that #1 contender spot. So, GG to you, Ale. I believe you're called the bartender for a good reason. You're dealing out shots of losing. I don't even know how to say that.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, from what it sounds like from listening to Darkmoon and Sonny talk while you were still running, you kind of had it at the start, and I was kind of twiddling my thumbs and doing early victory laps that could have cost me, so.
I mean, if that's actually true, darn it, I let it slip between my hands, the challenge that spells after Kid Chameleon, but, well.
So, let's go ahead and get some final thoughts from you guys on this. Ale, since you finished them first, let's start with you.
I mean, I think the flags were fun, so thanks Dengwoo for crafting up some fun flag sets. I think that's kind of been the highlight of all the Irongol matches so far, is the flag sets are all over the place. I don't think anything's really been consistent week to week. There's been a lot of similarity, but it's a for fun thing. And I think that's really what the game should be. We're not this, cutthroat group of savages who just desperately want to knock spells out. Okay, we are kind of cutthroat and want to knock spells off this podium. But we're having fun while we do it. And I think that's what it boils down to. And I think it's a nice counterpart to the seriousness that's going to be Spring Tournament when that starts this week. So I think it's nice to have kind of a balance between the two.
How about you, Dengwoo?
I mean, Al brings up good points. I mean, the Iron Goal is exactly what it does. I mean, runners are having fun, at least the ones that have participated. I haven't heard a whole lot of negative about it. They craft the flags, challenge, have fun. They're able to keep sharp by running flags that they enjoy, and which then increases the viewing of, like said, spring tournament stuff, because our runners are sharper because they're actually playing, and they're used to playing. They're more efficient with their menuing, and their padding and stuff like that. But spring tournament's coming up. You still have what is it?
Minutes.
3
Whole
hours?
minutes.
No, they got 3 hours still because it's Pacific time, midnight.
Ah.
So 12 p.m. midnight, or 12 p.m., which is midnight Pacific time. You can still sign up for spring tournament. We are up to, I believe, 75 right now. So, and then tomorrow on Randomania will be a reveal at 9 o'clock. And we are hoping that one of the pairings will then offer up a challenge, or will be willing to be broadcasted for the opening match of the Spring Tournament 2020 tomorrow night. They're hoping to start about 10:30. So be on the lookout for that. Join the Discord. You'll be able to get a spectator tag and be able to see the announcements of when the races begin. So thank you, Dark Moon. Thank you, Sunny Earth, for commentating. And I believe Cyrus was in the background, so appreciate it.
Well, Dark Moon, this has been a very, very fun night of Final Fantasy
was a
Randomizer,
blast.
wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, it was absolutely fun. I enjoyed the hell out of this.
Be sure to give the runners a follow. I went ahead and did the runner and commentary commands, so that way you can give the runners a follow, give us in the booth a follow. Shout outs to our tracker, Serenus, doing one of the toughest jobs, if not the toughest job to do for pretty much any randomizer. Like Dengwoo said, if you want to join the spring tournament, which I highly recommend you do, sign-ups are still open for another 3 hours and 13-ish minutes. So definitely be sure to sign up. Make sure to join the Discords, whether it's Speed Gaming Discord or the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord, or both, honestly, because they're both really great communities. You can't go wrong with any of them. And you get to see so much with Speed Gaming. You get to see so much with the partner channel Randomania. It's definitely great.
I agree. It's a good time to join. It's a great time to watch. It's a great time to have fun, to see all the people that you enjoy watching here on Twitch. And if you do like I did back in the day, watching on YouTube as well, because we have a fantastic YouTube channel you can check out as well. Come check out everything that we have going on the website, with the game, with all the stuff we do for community outreach. Come be a part of our community and enjoy Final Fantasy Randomizer the way that we do. Or the way that you do. Or the way that the Irongol does. Any way that you want.
Absolutely. So, on behalf of our runners, Elmarkin and Dengwoo, my co-commentator, Dark Moon EX, our tracker, Cyrenus, I am Sonny Roth 11. We will see you tomorrow for the spring tournament pairing reveals. Have a good night. We'll see you then.
Good night.